Married at First Sight, season 14, and we are almost at the end, y'all. We are almost at decision day. I can't believe it. But as we start approaching decision day, I was starting to reflect on, what happened with Jasmina. How did I get it so wrong with Jasmina and Michael? I mean to tell you guys, they were one of my favorite couples before the episode started airing. I remember thinking, oh, I predicted this couple would make it all the way. It wasn't until about episode 2 when I started saying, wait a minute, what's going on wrong here? And I know it took some of you guys even longer to clue in on Jasmina. So I want to know how did we miss all the signs? Because even when people predicted that Jasmina and Michael wouldn't make it, because some people did predict it from the very beginning, they predicted it, but they thought that Michael was going to be the bigger problem. And in fact, some people held on to that as long as they could. They finally had to admit they was wrong about that too. So I want to look at, did we miss the warning signs? And I think I missed a big warning sign. I went back and I took a look at the matchmaking special. And one of the things I can say that was a big red flag was that whenever you ask someone, hey, why do you and your husband or why do you and your boyfriend break up? And that person never admits anything that they did wrong. What did they do to contribute to the problem? I always felt that was a red flag. When there's no self-reflection, no looking back on what you could have done differently, I always thought that was a red flag. So when Pastor Cal went and visited Michael, I want you guys to hear what Michael said.
Now, I want to talk to you about a few things. As a future spouse, if you were to get married, what do you feel like might be some of the challenges you might encounter, Mike?
Being able to be comfortable with somebody enough to where I can show them all sides of me. Because oftentimes if I have this demeanor that's can be seen as indifferent, then the person can think, oh, this person isn't interested in me, which could not even be the case. It's just my personality type.
What I like in this video is Michael clearly understands that he wasn't doing some things right in past relationships. And he said he wanted to come into this new relationship doing things differently because he knows it's caused problems in the past. He knew he wasn't perfect. He knew he had some flaws, but he was aware of them enough to know that he needed to fix them. Now, on the flip side, what about Jasmina? One of my biggest gripes with Jasmina is she doesn't look in the mirror, that she's hypocritical. She doesn't see what she's doing wrong. She only sees what Michael's doing wrong. So Pastor Cal went and visited Jasmina, and look at the same scenario with Jasmina. Look at the difference.
Okay, I want to know, if we did find somebody for you, what efforts are you willing to put forth to make marriage work?
A big thing with me is communication. And that was a problem in most of my relationship was I felt like I was always the one communicating and I wasn't getting it in return. So it just didn't work out.
What does it make you feel about yourself?
That maybe I just wasn't good enough for them to make them want to be that person.
The one thing that I find is it's not about you not being good enough. It's just that person was not for you.
Here is Jasmina elevating herself as the master communicator and that the problem with communication was with the people she was with. Same thing she's doing now. A lot of y'all thought the reason she's acting this way towards Michael is because she doesn't like Michael. Now you can see that Jasmina hasn't actually taken accountability in any of her relationships, actually. What I also didn't like about this clip is Jasmina made herself the victim. What she did was she turned around and said that maybe the reason why the man didn't communicate with her is because something was wrong with her. She immediately went to a victim mode, and what that did was that made Pastor Cal come and console her. I understand Pastor Cal's instinct to console her, but now that we know a little bit of Jasmina, this actually was bad advice, because what Pastor Cal told Jasmina was, something's not wrong with you, it's something wrong with those guys. And this is why Jasmina hasn't grown, because what people have doubled down on and supported her on was allowing her to shift the blame or any accountability from herself back onto the other person in the relationship. And this is why she isn't growing. I hope that after Married at First Sight season is over And Jasmina looks back on this season that this doesn't happen anymore, that she actually takes some time, maybe goes and gets some therapy, and actually realizes and figures out what part is she contributing to the demise of her relationship. I think Jasmina is playing a big role, but in the past, and even in this video, it's showing that she doesn't take accountability for it. And I hope at the end of this season, that changes. That's it, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.